Thank you for coming. Good fortunes. Thank you for coming.
Good night.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Hail Aslan.
Thank you for
Good
coming.
fortunes.
People of Narnia, my people, we celebrate a happy day together today. I, Nerez, Lord Protector of our great land, caretaker of our fair and pleasant country, as long that is as Prince Caspian,
Long live Prince Caspian!
is still too young to be crowned the true king. I, Nerez, your temporary ruler, have been persuaded by 7 of our most noble lords to allow them to sail away and look for distant lands beyond, yes, beyond the Eastern Ocean. Oh, you may gasp with astonishment, with amazement. Such bravery is far above and beyond the call of even Narnian duty. Where their quests will take them, nobody knows. What dangers await them, nobody knows, but we hope and pray that they will find true glory and great treasure and return to us safely to our shores. My people, may I introduce to you 7 of these brave men who alone in Narnia do not fear the sea. First, the Lord Byrne. Well done, my Lord Byrne. Yes, yes. Next, the Lord Octasian, a dragon of a man. My Lord, good luck. The Lord Restamar. If anyone can find gold, it's my Lord Restamar. Good hunting, my Lord. The Lord Revillion. The mighty Lord Mavramorn. The Lord Argos. And finally, the Lord Roop. Yes. May we wish each of these lords in turn a fond farewell, a safe voyage, and a speedy return. Farewell, dear lords.
Nerez, farewell.
Good fortune, dear lords.
Good fortune.
Safe return, dear lords.
Safe return.
In about 100 years, my lords. Well, now that I've got rid of them, I can do what I like with Narnia.
It's a beautiful picture, Edmund. It looks like a real dragon ship.
Running before a fast wind, off to find adventure and glory. We'll all be bound, not like me stuck here for the holidays, in this dreadful house with our dreadful uncle and our even more dreadful aunt, and that entirely dreadful cousin, Eustace. Eustace Clarence Scrubs. What a name. Suits him perfectly.
It's such a very Narnian ship.
Oh, Lucy, don't you just long to go back to Narnia?
The land behind the wardrobe. I miss Narnia so much.
And Aslan?
And Aslan most of all.
But the question is, does it make things harder, having to look at a Narnian ship, when you can't do anything about it, or...
Or is even just looking at it better than doing nothing at all? Oh, what were we told again? Don't try and get back to Narnia. It'll happen when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Some kids who played games about Narnia got gradually barmier and barmier, until one fine day they were taken away and locked up in the loony bin. How about that then?
It doesn't rhyme, Eustace.
It doesn't matter, Edmund. All you two have done since you came here is sit and talk about Narnia. Fine cousins you are, no fun at all. What is a soppy Narnia anyway?
Oh, well, it's a whole land full of wonderful people. Lions and leopards and fawns, satyrs, cats, dogs, and mice.
Oh, don't forget about the beavers and Aslan.
Where is this wonderful land of yours then? I don't exactly remember it from geography lessons.
They don't teach it to you in geography, stupid.
Well, how do you get there then?
Well,
He won't believe you.
we found it in the back of a wardrobe.
What? At the back of your wardrobe? Don't be ridiculous. Who ever heard of a country at the back of a wardrobe?
That's what I said once.
Narnia indeed. And who or what is Aslan? When he's at home to tea? You two made it up. It's a pack of lies.
But Aslan is the...
Don't tell him, Lucy. Perhaps the little stinker will go away.
I live here. You don't. You can go away, Edmund. And good riddance. Do you like that picture, Lucy?
Yes, I do, Eustace. It's the most beautiful dragon ship.
No, it isn't. It's a rotten ship, a stupid ship, and anyway, dragons don't exist and never have. Ma and Pa say so, so it must be true.
Well, if you leave the room, you won't have to look at it, will you?
This is my house. I do the ordering around about here. It's about time you so-called guests realize that. What's so special about the moldy old picture anyway? I'll just take it down and throw it away. That'll show you.
You can't! You can't!
I can. Dreadful, am I? Dreadful uncle and that even more dreadful aunt and that entirely dreadful cousin. Dreadful, eh? I'll show you just how dreadful I can be.
Hold on, you two. Something's happening. Hold on.
What?
The picture's getting bigger. The water looks really wet. The waves are going up and down.
They can't be. They can't be. Ah, that's salt water.
The ship's moving and it's getting bigger and bigger.
The picture's coming to life.
It can't come to life. It's not allowed. I'll smash it. I'll smash it to bits.
Stop him, Edmund!
Let me go, Edmund. It's a dream. It's just a bad dream. It's something I hate. No, it's a nightmare. Look at the dragon. Look at the dragon's head. It's real. I'm falling. Me too. I'm falling as well.
We're all falling to the sea! Swim! Swim for your lives!
I'm drowning.
Grab
Get out of here. Save me. Save me.
Caspian, King of Narnia.
Well met, my friends.
Well met indeed.
It isn't well met at all. I could have drowned.
Trinian, spiced wine for our guests. They need something to warm them after their swim.
Aye, aye, sire. Run out. Get below and aft to the galley.
Below and after the galley, Captain?
Under the deck. To the kitchen, Renell.
Thank you, sir.
He's a brave man, but he's never been to sea before.
Landlubber.
Calm yourself, Trinian. Now, who is your companion?
Mind your own business. And don't touch me. I'm cold and wet. And I want to go home. Let me go at once.
Let you go? But to where? Thank you, Trinian. And Ranelf? May I propose a toast? Welcome aboard the Dawn Treader.
The Dawn Shredder.
That's a merry shipmate you brought us, Majesties. Not a good sailor, I fear.
Oh, what's that? Take it away. It's horrid.
Reepicheep!
My humble duty to your Majesty, to both your Majesties. Nothing excepting your Majesty's presence was lacking to this great adventure.
Majesties? Where? What majesties?
Us, Eustace, Edmund, and I. We were kings and queens of Narnia once.
And once a king or queen of Narnia, always a king or queen of Narnia.
What rubbish.
Good to see you, Reep. You're looking fighting fit.
Sir Reepicheep, the bravest fighting mouse in the world.
Fighting mouse? Indeed, I hate mice. And I hate performing animals even more. They're silly, vulgar, and sentimental. Ma and Pa say so, so it must be true. Take it away.
Am I to understand that this singularly discourteous person is under your Majesty's protection? Because if not, achoo!
Forgive me, friends. I'm a fool to keep you standing here in your wet clothes. Trinian, Reepicheep, find warm blankets for their majesties and their friends.
Aye, aye, sire. Renell, you'll find blankets below and aft in my sea chest. Got it?
Yes, Captain.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Yes, aye, Captain.
He's gonna need a hand. Reap.
To the comfort of a lady, even honor must sometimes give way. For the moment.
But what are you all doing here?
I'm getting colder,
How long has it been?
and I'm feeling sick again.
And where are you all going?
I bet I've got the flu
When did we last see each other?
and pneumonia.
What is this wonderful ship?
I'll have to go to the nearest hospital. ask you,
Caspian,
where are we
going?
Wait, give me a chance. First, may I present to you properly my captain, the Lord Drinian. Now this lovely ship here, which is called the Dawn Treader, the captain, Reepicheep, Grinelf, and I are on an expedition.
Off to find adventure and glory?
Precisely, Your Majesty.
Perhaps you remember being told that when I was an orphan child, my wicked uncle Miraz stole the throne from me, and that he sent 7 of my father's friends to explore the eastern seas beyond the Lone Islands.
7 lords? I remember. And they never came back, did they?
Exactly as my wicked uncle had intended.
And at your coronation?
I swore an oath to sail east for a year and a day to find my father's friends, or to learn at least what had happened to them.
But who's in charge of Narnia while you're away?
Why, Trumpkin the dwarf, of course. An excellent regent, Drinian?
Loyal as a badger and valiant as a lion. A mouse, my king.
But have you yet learned what happened to the 7 men?
The 7 Narnian lords who alone did not fear the sea? No, not yet. They were sent to search for new lands beyond the Eastern Ocean. Strange stories have been heard. Tales of a string of islands that lead eventually to this great sea wave.
Tales of a huge comber that sweep unweary ships off the edge of the world and sends them back to the beginning of time. Tales of deadly dragons, of invisible beings, of slave traders, of mermaids and mermen that can sing a sailor to his inevitable watery death.
Tales of treasure. Tales of so much gold it would make Narnia the most powerful nation in the whole world. And its king would be so rich. Oh, yes. We should also, of course, mention that the valiant Reepicheep has a higher purpose. Reep, would you care to explain?
When I learned that Prince Caspian was to fulfill his coronation promise and look for the missing lords, I realized that this journey might take us to the eastern end of the world. And I thought, what might we find there?
But there isn't an end to the world. Everyone knows that. The earth is round, you stupid mouse.
Our world may be round, Eustace, but Narnia is most certainly different. Narnia time, for example, is totally different from our time. 100 Narnian years is but a blink of an eye to us.
A blink of an eye indeed.
Pray, continue, most valiant Reepicheep.
Oh, valiant, is it?
And Eustace?
What?
Shut up!
Ow.
I intend to find the end of the world, where I believe lies the country of Aslan. When I was in my cradle, a prophecy was made, where the skies and waters meet, and the waves grow sweet. Doubt not, Reepicheep, that you shall find all you seek, for there is the utter east. I have known all my life that I must seek out the utter east, and I have known that I must seek out Aslan, though why, in truth, I cannot tell.
And Aslan always comes from the east, of course.
But who or what is Aslan?
As always, your majesty understands me perfectly.
Get forward, Ranulf.
Forward, Captain.
Get to the front of the ship, man. The pointed end.
Yes, aye, Captain.
But where are we going, Captain Drinian?
We're heading towards the Lone Islands, Your Majesty. We have been at sea for nearly 30 days now, and are roughly 400 leagues off the mainland of Narnia.
And beyond the Lone Islands?
No one knows, unless the Lone Islanders can tell us anything.
I'm feeling sick again. I want to be put ashore. I'll find the British consul and get sent home. And this time I'll travel by air. I can't stand ships. And I'll lodge a disposition against all of you.
A disposition? Is that a new form of fight? Of single combat, perhaps?
You really are a stupid little mouse. Everyone knows what a disposition is. Go away from me. I've got good mind to pick you up by your tail and whirl you around my head till you get some sense into your tiny little pea brain. Ow!
Draw, you poltroon! Draw and fight, or I'll beat you black and blue with the flat of my sword blade.
Land! There's land ahead!
Renell, say it properly. It's land ho! Land dead ahead!
Right. Land ho. Land. Aye, Captain. Land ho. Land dead ahead.
Land dead ahead, sire.
What land, Captain?
What land? Look out!
An island. It's a sort of bluey green or greeny blue, if you know what I mean.
Hopeless. Sire, we have reached the Lone Islands. Lookout reports a sort of bluey green or greeny blue, if you know what I mean. Sire.
I do indeed. Isn't that the island of Felamath?
Which, if I remember right, is inhabited.
And if I remember right, it belongs to the true king of Narnia.
I wonder if the inhabitants know that I am their new true king. Drinian, we'll anchor the Dawn Treader away from towns or villages and row ashore and take a look at Felamath.
Aye, aye, sire. Red Elf, drop anchor.
Aye, Captain.
Perhaps we'll find some of my lords there.
Perhaps.
I'm telling you, Tax, life's getting harder. It's getting so hard, I just don't think it's worth living here anymore. We're gonna have to move. Well, our whole economy, our whole future, our whole prosperity, it's built on buying and selling slaves.
Yeah?
And there ain't no more slaves. We've run out of livestock, simply run out of slaves, and I'm at the end of my tether. A lifetime of civilized slave trading, slipping slowly to an unwarranted and unhappy end. It'll be a great sadness, a great loss to the community at large.
At last, safe on dry land. Oh, now where's the British consul?
What's that? Take cover, Tax. Oh, hide, you fool!
I don't care what you say, Lucy. I'm going straight to the authorities, whoever they are, wherever we are.
But, Eustace, I don't think you understand.
And don't think a stupid girl is going to stop me. Ma and Pa always
Nice one, Tax.
let go of me.
What's happening?
We'll put him in the cage. We'll gag him hard, and we'll tie him tight. That's it. In the cage with him, Tax. That's it. Don't forget to gag him. Oh, things is beginning, mind you, to look up.
What island is this, Reap?
The island of Felamath, sire.
Get down, Tax.
The island of Felamath, sire. I heard a tale once, though I can hardly believe it true, that the natives still practice slave trading.
What? Buying and selling people?
And animals as well, for gold. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Now where are Lucy and Eustace?
They must have gone on ahead.
Nice, Tax. In the cage with him. Down there. Oh, tie him tight. Gag him hard. Oh, things is really looking up. Nice. Hide! Get down!
Where are you all? Don't you know it's dangerous to split up on an unknown island? Our strength lies in numbers.
5 is a goodly number, Tax. Nice.
What?
Now, I'll shut his mouth while you get others. Oh, welcome to the island, sir.
Wait, huh?
Take the skin off the backs, Tax. Oh. I tell you, Tax. Well, here, can you get this? Because we don't want them getting it. Oh, well, especially since you lot are very lucky indeed. I mean, you are now my prisoners. You are very lucky because, well, not for you, that ugly death you might have had if we'd been cannibals. No. Not for you, the disfigurement or death if we'd been enemy soldiers. No. None of that plank walking stuff what pirates would have made you do. No salt mines, no rowing in the galleys, no hard labour camps. No, you are very lucky you've fallen on your feet and into the right hands. You are going to be sold to the finest slave market. The finest slave market in the whole world. And sold to the highest bidder. And may I tell you, but why me? His lordship here'll tell you. Lone Island slaves, they're sought after by the whole world. And so, given only the best treatment, my lord.
At it again, Pug, you despicable man. Slave trading, traffic in human beings, buying and selling bodies and minds, the most disgusting business in all the world. The slaves here are sought after because it's the last place in all Narnia that still practices the evil trade. I just wish Caspian, the new king of Narnia, knew about it, and we're here to do something about it.
Hardly likely, sir. Hardly likely. With him so far away, it'd probably turn a blind eye to it, like his uncle, the king of Forim. His governor gets a percentage after all, so why wouldn't he? Now, do you want to buy, my lord, or are you still penniless?
I'd buy them all from you if I could, you foul apology for a man. I have a few coins. Will these buy freedom for one of the poor wretches?
Just the one, my lord. Just the one.
Let it be this one then. If I could help you strangers, I would. But I am now completely penniless.
Thank you, my lord. Now, little piggies, let's go to market.
You're penniless, Lord?
There are a few, you know. Buying you has cost me my food for a week. I'm afraid it'll be a hungry sort of freedom for you, my friend.
My lord, do you have a name?
I was known as the Lord Byrne.
But I have been looking for you, my lord. You are my father's friend.
Father? What father?
I am Caspian, king of Narnia, son of Caspian, the lawful king of Narnia, lord of Cair Paravel, and emperor of the Lone Islands.
By Aslan, it is his father's very voice and trick of speech. You have his looks his voice, his style, his authority, and his magnificent hair. Yes, I believe you, slave. You are indeed my liege lord, Majesty.
Please, how are you here?
I came at the request of your uncle Miraz with my 6 companions in search of land and treasure. We anchored here. I fell in love with the island and felt I had enough of the sea. I knew your Majesty's uncle hated me, so rather than return home, I have lived here ever since.
And the others?
They sailed onwards. But what of your friends?
Where will they be taken?
To the slave market held here by your usurping uncle's royal decree. The money from the sale of slaves goes straight into the pockets of Gumpus.
Who is Gumpus?
Governor Gumpus, the cruel and corrupt ruler of these islands, who was appointed by your uncle, King Miraz. Have you any money, sire, to buy freedom for your friends? I, Majesty, have none.
I came here with 1 ship and a small crew. I did not expect to have to barter for the freedom of slaves. I have no money with me. But by the might of Aslan, I will speak to this man, Gumpus. There's to be no slavery anywhere in Narnia as long as I am king. You must go at once, Lord Byrne, to my ship, the Dawn Treader. Fetch my captain, Drinian, and his crewman, Ranelf. Bring them to the slave auction. I will meet you there.
These are brave words, as indeed befits a king of Narnia. But I fear that Gumpus is bound to have you killed if you go there alone.
Then what is to be done?
There may be a way. You say you have just the 1 ship.
Yes, the Dawn Treader.
But if Gumpus were to think you had a large fleet standing by,
Yes?
go alone to the slave market, but take this horn with you. I will arrange with all the captains of all the ships lying in the harbor that at the sound of that horn, that they and their crew will create such a hullabaloo that Gumpus will think he's been invaded by the whole of Narnia.
An excellent idea. Go quickly, Lord Byrne. You have a great deal to do. I will see you at the slave market.
Be careful, sire.
Life, Governor Gumpus, it's getting harder.
So hard that it's not even worth living here anymore. Yes, Pug, I know, I've heard it all before.
However, Governor, sir, by a stroke of luck, or is it genius, I have managed to collect no less than 4 objects for your perusal.
4 slaves?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very good news, Pug. Very good news indeed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And, well, I do hope you remember that it's getting hard, and I hope you will recognize that, sir.
Of course, Pug, of course. In the usual way, the usual percentage.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
command that the slave bell be rung straight away. Soldier, fetch me my chair and command that the slave bell be rung.
Yes, Governor, sir.
Pug, bring them forward for inspection.
Yes, sir. Come on, Tax. In you come. Come on. It's the governor. Come on. Come on. Get.
Eustace Clam Scrubs, at your service.
What a silly name.
What?
This one can go straight to the circus. This one can go straight to the kitchens. Oh, and this one, ooh, very nice indeed. Very nice. Now, by the power vested in me as governor of the Lone Islands, I declare that the slave auction may commence.
No.
Pug,
No.
pray continue.
Can't do this.
Thank you, sir. Governor Gumpus, ladies and gentlemen, I have here a rare choice selection of goods newly arrived on our shores for your delectation. appreciation, and eventual purchase. Now, lot number one. A good, strong fella, suitable for the fields, the mines, or the galleys.
But you said...
Tax!
Oh, you coward.
As I was saying, suitable for the fields, the mines, or the galleys. Under 21, not a bad tooth in his head. Good, strong fellow. I mean, look at his muscles. Now, what is my bid?
10 crescents.
10 crescents? You must be joking.
15 crescents.
15 crescents. 18 crescents.
21 crescents.
21 crescents. 23 crescents. 24 crescents. Going once and twice and sold to the gentleman on the right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
24 crescents, that's 15% due to me. Now, 24 times 15 over 100 equals 3.60. Isn't that right, Pug?
That's right, Governor, sir. That's right. Thank you,
Pug.
sir. Now, lot number 2. A very unique lot, this. A matching pair.
Hey,
Very unique. A little scrawny, but suitable for fattening up. Now, personally, I would use them as house slaves for a couple of years, and then turn them over to harder labor.
But you said... Oh, Aslan, please help us!
Slave trader! Ugh! You've sold your last human being.
Pug, get rid of him.
On your knees to the king of Narnia!
Who? Slave trader, your life is forfeit.
But why, sir?
Because I abolished the foul and inhumane practice of slave trading on these islands half an hour ago, on pain of instant death.
But I didn't know, sir.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse, slaver. On your knees and beg for mercy.
Every slave in this market is free!
By my royal decree.
Your Majesty, I must protest.
Tell me, Governor, what need do we have for slaves, Governor?
To sell them for export. The Lone Islands are a major center for the export of slaves.
Rubbish. You sell slaves in order to put money
Be silent, Lord
into
Byrne.
Pug's pockets and to put money into your own private accounts.
I must protest, sire. I have books and diagrams and statistics and accounts that show.
That show how you exchange slaves for food, grain, wine, timber, for the benefit of the people of the islands.
Well, no, sir. Not exactly, sir.
Well, no, sir. Not at all, sir. The traffic in slaves is abolished, and so, Governor Gumpus, are you.
I beg your Majesty's pardon.
My royal decree is that the Lord Byrne is to be the new governor. No. He is now Duke of all the Lone Islands, and is to rule on my behalf until I or my successors command differently. The island is free!
Majesty, you do me a great honor.
No more than you deserve, Lord Byrne. I suggest that you put the slaver and his henchmen to some useful civic work, like mending the roads, perhaps. Gumpus might make a useful road mender, too.
Your Majesty, I will certainly deal with these 3.
As you wish, Lord Byrne.
Perhaps a short spell in prison might help them decide how best they can help the islands. Renalf, take them away.
Aye, get up.
Sire, will you stay for a small feast of celebration?
No, Lord Byrne. We must venture on in the name of Aslan to find your companions in the east.
The east, the utter east.
Captain Drinian, have you made inquiries of the islanders?
We all have, sire. They know nothing of any lands beyond the Lone Islands. Only a legend of a huge wave at the edge of the world.
So this is where the true adventure really starts.
Govern well, Lord Byrne, and pray to Aslan for a safe return.
Farewell, my king. I pray you find my 6 companions well and alive. Farewell.
Farewell.
Get below, sire! Get below, ma'am! Take us, man! Take the helm! I must get board!
We've been below for 13 days!
It's foul below. We need fresh air.
And it's foul up here too, sire! Get below, your majesty!
Captain, the food has run out, the water cats are shattered. We must find land or turn back.
We have been before this jail for 18 days now. We have no maps, no way of knowing where land might be. We cannot turn back against this wind. Sire!
What can we do?
Get below, your majesty, and pray to Aslan for help.
We've been doing that already. Land! Land to the right of us! And to the left! The rocky shores! Oh, hoarse, steep cliffs and breakers with 2 clouds!
Hard to port! Cuspian! Put the rudder hard to port!
Rocks! Dead ahead! Watch out, it will wreck!
Come around! In Aslan's name! Come around, Dawn Treader! Come around! Aslan! Save our souls!
First, a picture comes to life. Then I'm half drowned. Then I'm dragged on board that horrible ship to meet a bunch of real weirdos. I get attacked by a mouse. Then I'm sold as a slave. And finally shipwrecked on this awful-looking island. One thing's for sure. I'm never going back on that Dawn Treader again. Never, ever again. I hope it's so badly damaged that it never puts to sea again. There must be a British consul somewhere. There's always a British consul whenever you're in trouble abroad. Go to the British consul, as Ma and Pa always say. So it must be true. And what about that dreadful storm? I hate the sea. I'd much rather fly. I love flying. It's much safer and quicker. The crew of that awful ship doesn't even have flares or a radio to call for help. All they did was yell for Aslan. Whatever that even means. Aslan, Aslan. What a silly name. But at least I got away from that nasty little mouse. He really hurt me with that spiky little sword of his. I detest that Reaper-Jeep. He's not a mouse, he's a rat. A rotten little rat. Where's this British consul? What's that? Smoke. And when there's smoke, there's fire. So Ma and Pa always say. A nice warm fire to dry me out. And I won't tell the others. Ow, ow. What's this? A coin. A gold coin. Gold. Yes. Here. And here. Look. Here. And these look like jewels. Why? What is this? What is this beautiful armlet? Why, the cave is full of treasure. I found a treasure cave. And it's mine. All mine. Now I'll show everyone who's really in charge. What's that? Oh, that's disgusting.
Eustace!
must have heard that wherever he is.
Definitely.
Eustace! Eustace, where are you? The ship's repaired. We're ready to sail now.
Typical Eustace. I bet he's looking for a British consul. Good riddance to him.
We must do something. He could have gotten lost or fallen into a hole.
Or been captured by savages.
Or killed by wild beasts.
Or eaten by cannibals.
In whichever case, as I said, good riddance to bad rubbish.
You never spoke a word that became you less, sire. Eustace is certainly no friend of mine, but while he is a part of our fellowship, it behoves our honor to find him, or to avenge him if he is dead.
You're absolutely right, Reepicheep. Of course we have to find him.
If we can.
It's just the nuisance of it all. It means a search party and endless trouble. Bother Eustace.
With the greatest respect, sire, if we are to do anything, we must decide now. It's getting dark, and will soon be nightfall. We need shelter, food, and a warm fire.
Are you suggesting that we should give up the search for the night, Drinian?
Yes, sire.
Surely, my king, we must of honor's sake continue on until it is dark and worry about our personal comforts after that.
But he might be hurt. Every minute could count.
But there's shelter and what looks to be fire.
A cave. Smoke. When there's smoke, there's almost always fire.
I counsel that we stay here the night and resume the search tomorrow. That way... What was that?
What is it?
I know exactly what that is.
What, sire?
Scatter! Everyone, scatter and hide!
It's a dragon, run everyone!
Reepicheep, you will not fight that dragon!
But, sire, honor commands.
Get back, I say! That is a royal command!
What? Why is it wagging its head like that?
And nodding.
And limping.
There's something coming out of its eyes.
Oh, well, can't you see? Those are tears. It's crying.
I wouldn't trust that, Queen Lucy. It's what crocodiles do. Put you off guard.
What? It moved its head when you said that, as if it was trying to say no. What?
Do you think it understands what we're saying?
Do you understand speech, dragon?
What?
Can you speak? If you come in friendship, dragon, raise your left foreleg.
Poor thing. Its leg is hurt. It needs help.
I wouldn't trust that, Queen Lucy. It could be a trick.
Show me your leg, poor dragon. Perhaps I can help. Someone, fetch water, please.
Look.
Look at what?
Look at the armlet.
Look at the device on the armlet. A hammer with a diamond above it. The sign of a great Narnian lord.
The Lord Octesian.
Perhaps this is the Lord Octesian turned into a dragon.
Perhaps the dragon devoured the Lord Octesian.
Are you the Lord Octesian?
Well, are you someone enchanted? Someone human?
What? You're not.
You couldn't be.
Eustace, by any chance?
How did it happen?
We'll talk about all that in the morning. Evening's falling, and it's getting very dark. Now we found him, and found shelter and warmth. What we all need most of all is a good night's sleep. Eustace, can we get you anything in the meantime?
Food?
Water? You must be very thirsty. Poor dragon. It just turned the water to steam.
By the way, Eustace, would you mind lighting a proper fire for us?
That's very tactless of you, Caspian.
Well, I merely thought.
My lord is right. We need rest and a good night's sleep. Though only Aslan knows how we can help the poor boy.
Drinian?
Sire?
Drinian, I've been thinking.
Sire?
The dragon might fit along one side of the ship.
We'd have to shift all the stores to the other side to balance it out.
What about the sideways pull? Would it put too much strain on the Dawn Treader?
I'd have to think about that, sire. Though, anyways, how do you feed a dragon?
Yes, that is a real problem. Well, good night, Drinian.
Good night, sire.
Are you asleep, Lucy?
Of course I'm not.
Perhaps we could tow him behind the ship.
Or perhaps he could fly alongside us.
No, I don't think he could keep going for that long.
Probably right.
And anyways, how do you feed a dragon?
Yeah, it's the real problem.
Yeah.
Eustace, I am deeply sorry that you have come to this sad pass. It is a striking illustration of the turn of fortune's wheel. In my humble home, I have 3 books that tell of 100 examples of emperors, kings, dukes, knights, all whom fell from great prosperity into deep distress. Dear dragon, I do beg your pardon. I mean, of course, dear Eustace. Many of them recovered from their misfortune and lived happily ever afterwards. However, I must say that your situation is most unusual in the extreme. You need help, and I fear that we, your companions, are unable to give you the right sort of help. Were I in your situation, I would think very hard about the utter east and the great lion Aslan. He, I am sure, can break any enchantment, any spell. Well, I will leave you to sleep now, or do whatever it is that dragons do by night. If you should need me, just call. Well, puff loudly. I am a light sleeper. Good night, Eustace.
What in Aslan's name was that?
It was horrible. The most horrible sound I've ever heard in my entire life.
We must arm and take up defensive positions. I will lead King Edmund to my right, Captain Drinian to my left.
Sire, I protest.
Reaper Chief, I need you to guard our backs.
Guard your backs?
Just do as I say, will you?
Are you there, Reeves?
Is that really you, Eustace?
Yes, I'm back. Back as myself.
Well,
Welcome back.
My friend back. Tell us what happened, Eustace.
Well, I was lying in the cave in terrible pain, thinking about what Reaper just told me, when I saw this huge lion coming towards me.
Aslan!
I was terribly afraid, especially when it told me to follow it.
You mean the lion spoke to you?
No, I don't think he did, but he told me somehow all the same. And I followed him a long way into the mountains to a sort of well of cool water. I knew if I could just get in, it would ease the pain in my leg. But the lion told me to get undressed first. So I tried to scratch it off. And at first the scales just fell off, and my skin too, just like peeling a banana. It was lovely. All the pain had gone. I was just going to step into the water when I looked down and realized all the scales had come back. I scratched off 3 full sets when the lion said or told me somehow, "You'll have to let me undress you." The first tear he made was so deep, I thought it went straight into my heart. That's when I screamed. Well, he peeled it off, picked me up, and threw me into the water. It stung like anything at first, but then all the pain went away, and I had turned into a boy again. It was all like a bad dream with a happy ending.
No, it wasn't a dream.
Well, what do you think it was then?
I think you've met Aslan.
I've heard that name so often. I was really beginning to hate it. Who is Aslan? Do you know him?
By the lion's mane, I hope to know him. He is the great lion, the son of the emperor beyond the seas, who saved Narnia from the wicked White Witch. King Edmund and Queen Lucy have seen him. King Caspian, do I think? It may be Aslan's country we are sailing to beyond the utter east.
Let's get back to the ship straight away. I've seen enough of this place.
Well, we've discovered the fate of Lord Octesian, at least.
He found the dragon's treasure, like me, and in his turn became the guardian of the treasure. He turned into a dragon.
Treasure? What treasure?
The treasure in the cave, of course. Dragons always guard treasure.
You mean there's treasure here? And nobody told me. How much?
A very great deal, but
Then we must get it on board, Drinian. Go and get Renelf. Tell him to start loading it up onto the boat.
Have you taken leave of your senses?
What do you mean?
Everyone knows the dragon's treasure is cursed.
It's true, King Caspian.
I fear, sire, that if we took the treasure back to Narnia, we would take the dragon's curse with us.
Then I suppose we must leave it. Leave all of it here on this accursed dragon's island for somebody else to find.
There will be other islands, my king. And we still have 5 more lords to find.
And the closer we get to the land of Aslan, the greater will be the rewards. Come, sire.
all that glistens is not always gold. That's what Ma and Pa always say. And they're always right. Well, nearly always. Still haven't found the British consul.
Don't think you will, Eustace.
I wonder what we will find.
Captain! King Caspian! Captain!
What is it, Renelf?
I was up on the mast repairing the sail when I saw it.
Saw what, man? Make a proper report!
It was just coming out of the haze, all strange and shimmering, like.
What, Renelf? What did you see?
Well, it had the shape of an island, but the color was like gold instead of grass. It was weird.
You hear that?
What did we just say?
Caspian!
No, Caspian!
I like the sound of this.
We must all put our trust in Aslan.
This island is absolutely beautiful. It's just like Renelf said, all strange and shimmery and hazed with gold.
It must have been some trick of sunlight. I suppose the further east you go, the closer you get to the rising sun. So the combination of the morning sea mist and the early morning sun would tend to make everything shimmer. Like gold, it's actually quite logical.
Well, it's a big relief after Dragon Island, I can tell you. No smoke, no fire, and no caves.
It's not exactly what I expected based off Renelf's report, Captain. Shimmery? Yes. Hazy? Yeah. But it's not exactly covered in gold. Just earth and grass and stuff.
Well, was only a figure of speech, sire. Bit of poetic license, if you will.
Address yourself to me, lad.
Sorry.
Though there is some compensation, my king. This island has plenty of fresh water for the ship's stores. Renelf, I want you to go down to the Dawn Treader. Check to make sure that she's all secure, fore and aft, ship shape and in Narnian fashion.
Ship shape, and I beg your pardon, Captain?
I want you to go down to the Dawn Treader
Yes,
and...
I heard what you said. Is just I don't quite understand what you mean.
Landlubber.
Yeah.
He means go and check that the ship is safe and well, please, Renell.
Thank you, sire.
And bring the water barrels back with you.
Aye, Captain.
As for me, I'm gonna go sit by this pool of lovely cool water and have a nice long refreshing drink.
Me too.
Look!
Look at what?
In the water, at the bottom of the pool.
What's the golden statue of a man?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, that was worth coming to see. Gold, eh? I wonder if we can get it out.
Well, how deep is the water?
No way of telling.
Here, try using my sword.
It's not gold at all. It's sunlight. Look, the sword's turning the same color.
What happened?
I couldn't hold it. Suddenly seemed so heavy.
And there it is on the bottom. Queen Lucy was right. The sword is the same color as the statue.
Get back from the water at once. It's real danger.
What?
Look at the toes of my boots.
They look a bit yellow.
They're gold. Real gold. Feel them. They're as heavy as lead.
By Aslan, you don't mean to say that...
Yes, I do. The water turns things into gold. My sword, the toes of my boots.
Then that isn't a gold statue at all. It's the body of a man.
And look, a Narnian armlet.
The Lord Restamar.
He must have been hot, thirsty, gone for a swim in.
How horrible.
But what a narrow escape for all of us, though.
Narrow indeed. Anyone's finger, foot, whisker, or tail might have slipped into the water at any moment.
The king who owned this island would soon be the richest of all the kings in the whole world.
Then you must claim it, sire.
I claim this island on behalf of the king of Narnia, and I bind you all to secrecy. No one must know of this island, on pain of death. Do you all hear me?
Who do you think you're talking to, Caspian? I'm not your subject. I'm one of 4 ancient kings of Narnia. You are under allegiance to me. If anyone should claim this island, it should be me.
So it has come to this, has it, King Edmund?
Stop it! Both of you! You can't quarrel over gold. It's stupid. If only Aslan were here, he'd stop the both of you from fighting.
My lords, this is a place with a curse upon it. Let us go back to the ship at once. And may I suggest that we rename this island Deathwater Island?
What were we all talking about again? I feel I've been making a fool of myself. Deathwater Island sure sounds like a suitable name, Reap. Though I, for the life of me, can't think why.
Something tells me we ought to get away from here.
Have we all been sleeping? I dreamt such a silly dream.
I suppose we must have, mustn't we? I dreamt a silly dream, too. I dreamt that we were all...
Here's Ralph.
I thought I told you to bring the water barrels back with you.
Well, I was going to, but the strangest thing happened. When I went back to the ship, I found the barrels to be full, to the brim, with clear, cold, and fresh water.
Did it taste sweet?
Well, no, Sir Mouse. It just tasted like water.
3 lords found. 4 to go. I hope we find the rest of them alive.
We seem no nearer to your heart's desire, Reeve.
Our progress may seem slow, my friend, but we keep moving on to the east, the utter east, and the adventures grow more and more unusual, that you must admit.
Come on, everyone. Back to the Dawn Treader. I wonder what we'll discover next.
And I wonder what adventures Aslan has in store for us on the next island.
So what lords have we found now, Drinian?
Hey,
Let's see here. Lord Byrne was on the
everywhere,
Lone
isn't it?
Islands.
Really
Lord
foggy
Artesian was on Dragon Island. Lord Restamar was on Deathwater Island.
So now we need to find
trees.
Avramor,
Same too. It's
Revilian,
Roop,
yeah.
and Argos.
right, 4 more.
I think we should...
Is it cool being a dragon?
Wait for me! Oh, please wait for me! Caspian! I thought you said never split up on strange islands! Oh, curse, I've got a stone in my shoe. Those boys have no thought whatsoever of anything but adventure. The further east we get, the more thoughtful they get. And reef's just as bad. And getting worse. What's that thump? It could be dangerous. I better hide.
Those are chunks. He's right. The chief's right again.
You never said a truer word. He's never wrong. Hates.
What I say is, we must go down to the shore between those strangers and their boat. Then we catch them all when they try to put to sea.
That's it. Catch them all when they try to put to sea. He's right again. The chief's always right.
And he's never wrong. No, never.
You never made a better plan, Chief. Never made a better plan.
He's right, he's right.
Who is?
Why, he is.
Who?
Why, he.
Lively now, lads. Look to your weapons. Off we go.
Right again, Chief. No one's got a clear hit. You never gave a better order. Just we were going to say ourselves. Off we go.
But who is?
Why, he is, of course.
But who is he?
He is.
That's terrible. I have to find the others at once.
I don't care if you claim you are a descendant of Mr. Tumnus. Every fawn claims they're the descendant of Mr. Tumnus.
I'm just saying, if you go back far enough, there's a chance.
Thank goodness. You're all here. We're in terrible danger.
What's wrong, Lucy?
Terrible danger. Some people have just rushed past me, and they say they're going to catch us when we get back to the boat.
Were there many?
Sounded like dozens to me. But that's not the worst of it.
Go on then, Lucy.
Well, you might find this hard to believe, but they were invisible.
That's not hard to believe at all. We've seen some pretty strange things here already.
This could be very serious indeed. Have you any idea what kind of people they were, Lucy?
How could I, when I couldn't see them? But they didn't seem to have any feet, only voices and this weird thumping noise like a mallet hitting the ground.
I wonder, do they become visible when you drive a sword into them?
We may well find out soon enough. And it's probably best if we get away from here. For all we know, there could be one standing beside us right now, listening to every word we say.
Let's go down to the ship and try and negotiate with them. Just as a first step, Reap.
Don't move no further, masters. No further now. There's 50 or more of us here with weapons in our fists.
He's right. 50 or more. Probably as many as 45.
55, he means. He's never wrong, our chief.
You can depend on what he says. He's telling you the truth.
I do not see these 50 warriors.
That's right. That's because we are invisible.
Keep it up, Chief, keep it up. You couldn't ask for a better answer than that.
Invisible people, what do you want with us? I am Caspian, King of Narnia, and I demand to know what you want with us.
We don't want you.
No more we do. No more we do.
We want the little girl. There's a job she has to do for us on her own.
The little girl, you dogs, is a queen.
We don't know about dogs or queens or kings of Narnia.
No more we do. No more we do.
But there's a job the little girl simply has to do for us. Of her own free will, on her own.
Well, what is it?
If it goes against Her Majesty's honor, you will be amazed to see how many of you will die.
Well, it's like this. This island is a property of a great magician, and we are all his servants. One day, the magician fell into a great rage and put a spell on us, an uglifying spell. He made us so ugly we couldn't bear to look at each other.
No, indeed. No.
So one afternoon, we crept upstairs as bold as brass to see what we could do. We found his great book of spells and did a magic, but we made ourselves invisible. Well, not we exactly. It has to be a little girl, as does the magic of her own free will and on her own. My little girl Clipsy. She did it for us so we didn't see how uglified we were anymore. But she did so well that she invisibled the great magician too. And now we don't know where he is, or whether he's dead, or alive, or coming, or going, and it's getting on our nerves. And that's our sad, sad story.
But what has that got to do with us?
I have gone out and left the whole point.
No, Chief, not you.
My little girl is too old to do magic now, so we've been waiting for a nice little girl from foreign parts like you, miss, to remove the spell and make us visible again.
That's right, Chief. A nice little girl like her.
But haven't you any little girls of your own?
Of course we have. Of course we have little girls of our own.
Well, why don't you ask one of them to do the magic?
He's right.
He's right. Why don't we ask one of them to do it, Chief?
Because we dursn't.
That's right, because we dursn't.
Dursn't? This is a word completely new to me. Pray, can anyone explain it?
They dare not reap a cheap. They're afraid.
Well, that's outrageous. To ask a lady to face dangers alone that you dare not face yourselves is well, it's...
Dishonorable is the word you're looking for, sire.
I'll do it.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Don't try and stop me. There are obviously dozens of them, and they say they're heavily armed.
I beg leave to doubt that, my lady.
That's a spear, that is. They come visible when they leave our hands.
As I was saying, they are obviously heavily armed, and I don't want to be cut into bits by invisible swords and things. So let's just do it their way and help them.
What would you do, Reek?
Her Majesty is right. The service they ask of her is a heroic and noble deed. If her heart moves her to risk the magician, then I will not speak against it, but support her in all my might and main.
And so I.
And I.
And I. And I.
3 cheers for the little girl.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
What a beautiful book. Without a doubt, the most beautiful book I've ever seen. What have we here? Spells, of course. Here's a cure for warts. Wash in the silver basin by moonlight. Well, I haven't got any warts, so that's no good. Here's a cure for toothache, and one for cramp. And here's one for lifting a swarm of bees. Fascinating. Here's one for remembering forgotten things and finding lost treasure. That could be really useful. Here's a spell on how to raise snow, hail, rain, ice, or fog. Wow, that's a beautiful page. What does it say? A spell to make her who utters it beautiful beyond the lot of mortals. Wow. I mean, just think of it. To be the most beautiful woman on earth? Why, kings and princes would come for my hand in marriage, and they would fight tournaments and mock battles in my favor. And then the battles might become real ones, and nations would fight nations in honor of having me as their queen. And then Narnia would lay wasteland with land surrounding it. But that wouldn't matter. As long as every woman was jealous of my beauty and my power, and every man worshiped me. But hopelessly, I have to say this spell. I must say this spell. That was silly of me. I nearly got carried away. What's this next spell? Behind closed doors, not meant for my ear, remove the wall so that I may hear. How strange. That's a train, and that's a compartment, and those are my two school friends, Marjorie Preston and Anne Featherstone.
Will we be friends this term? Or are you so soft in that Lucy Pevensey girl?
Don't know what you mean by soft on.
Oh, yes you do. You were always with her last term.
No, I wasn't. I've got more sense than that. She's not a bad little kid in her way, just very secretive and a bit boring. I was getting pretty tired of her by the end of term.
Well, you won't get a chance to be bored next term, Marjorie Preston. You two-faced beast! Well, I thought she was a lot nicer than that. I wonder if all my friends think the same. I don't want to know. Really, what's this next spell? A spell for the refreshment of the spirit. Sounds kind of nice. I'll read it really quickly. Wow. That was the loveliest story I've ever read. You know what? I think I want to read it again. Oh, what a shame. Pages are stuck or something. Oh well, what's this next spell? A spell to make the hidden visible. That's it. This is the one I've been looking for. Like the P in psychology, the H in psychiatry, invisible ink in truth and theology. All is complete, now all is visible. Is it working? Yes, there's pictures on the pages now. I wonder if the thumpers are visible. Wonder what else I've made visible. Oh no, is that the magician? Is he gonna be really mad at me? Aslan! The highest of highest kings, dearest Aslan! What brought you here?
I've been here all the time, Lucy. You have made me visible.
How could you say such a thing, Aslan? As if there was anything I could do that would make you visible.
You did, Lucy. You made me visible. And you've been spying on your school friends.
Yes, I have. Never speak to Marjorie Preston again. But I thought that was because of the magic.
Well, spying on them by magic is the same as spying on them in any other way. You have misjudged your friend Lucy. She is weak, but she really likes you. And she was simply saying what she thought the other girl wanted to hear.
I don't think I'll ever be able to forget what I heard her say.
No, you won't.
Oh, Aslan, if it hadn't been for this, would we have been really good friends and stayed friends for the rest of our lives, but now never shall.
My child, no one is ever told what would have happened.
Then, what about that story I read? The one where the pages got stuck, the refreshment of the spirit. I mean, it was the loveliest story I've ever read. Will you tell it to me, Aslan?
Indeed, I will, Lucy, for years and years and years to come. But now, we must meet the master of this house. Come, Koryakin, come!
Welcome, sire, to the least of your houses.
Koryakin, these foolish creatures I have given to you, are you weary of them?
No, sire, not at all. They are stupid, but there is no real harm in them. Sometimes I haven't grown quite fond of them. Sometimes I'm a little impatient with them, wishing wisdom could come more quickly to them than it can.
All in good time, Koryakin. All in good time.
I know. Would you care to see them, sire?
No. I fear I might scare them out of what little sense they may have. Many stars will grow old and come to rest here in these islands before your people are ready to meet me. And now, I must be off to Cair Paravel to encourage Trumpkin, the dwarf, who is counting the days until Caspian comes home. Lucy, do not look so sad. We will meet again soon.
But, Aslan, what do you call soon?
I call all time soon.
Gone. And you and I are quite crestfallen, young lady. That's the way it always is. You can't keep him, you know. He's wild. Not like a tame lion. And how did you like my book of spells?
Some of them were very nice. Others were a bit scary. Did you know I was here this whole time?
Oh, I was so sleepy today. I wasn't on my guard at all. But I knew that when the duffers magic themselves...
Sorry to interrupt, but what did you call them?
Duffers. It's short for Dufflepud, you see. I knew that when the duffers magic themselves that you or someone like you would come along to break the spell. I just wasn't quite sure when.
When will my magic work?
It has worked already. They're visible now.
Why did you uglify them?
Because they wouldn't do what they were told. The troubles I've had with them. One day I found them planting boiled potatoes. They said it was so that when the potatoes grew, they'd be ready to eat. They're here right now.
Hey lads, we're visible.
Visible we are, lads. And what I say is, when lads are visible, why, they can see one another.
He's right. The chief's right. Yet again, lads.
He's never wrong.
Right again, Chief. No one's got a clearer head than you.
I don't think they're ugly at all. I think they're very nice looking. They're so funny and really very kind. I don't think you should change them back. Would it help if I told them?
It would help a great deal, Lucy, if ever you could get it into their silly heads.
Well, lads, we are mortal ugly, and that's a fact.
He's right. You said it all, Chief. We are mortal ugly.
I don't think you're ugly at all. I think you're very nice looking.
She's right.
She's never wrong.
True, Missy. You can never find a handsomer lot.
Handsome's the word. We're right handsome.
Lads, she's a saying we looked very nice before we was uglified.
No, I'm saying you're very nice now.
That's what I said you said. We would look very nice if we weren't what we looked like now.
But...
Lucy, they'll never change.
No, they'll never change.
So it's back to work, is it, Chief?
Back to work, lads.
You never gave a better order.
He's right.
Who is?
Why, he is, of course.
Who?
Why, he.
Who is he?
And you must go too, Lucy. Back to the ship. Back to your friends. And I will conjure up a fair wind to blow you and the four noble lords. Back to the utter east. Farewell, Queen Lucy.
Farewell, Koryakin, farewell.
And may your journey be more prosperous than that of the four noble lords who sailed away 7 years ago to this very day and have never been seen again since. Come, sisters of the wind, grant me a goodly, gentle breeze to blow these travelers and their valiant ship, the Dawn Treader, back to the utter east. A north wind will bring chill, and east wind will bring ill. A south wind will slow their trip. A west wind will speed their ship. Come, sisters, grant me a goodly west wind.
And then the magician Koryakin said that the four noble lords visited his island, and they sailed to the utter east.
So at least we know they made it this far.
And had enough stores with enough courage to be able to go on.
Land! Island ahead!
Ranelf, I've told you before about being precise. It's land, ho, land, dead ahead.
Right. Land ho, land dead ahead. I believe that is 2 points off the port beam. And, well, it's less of an island, more of a darkness. Like a mist. Like a tunnel mist. I really, it's hard.
Ranelf, I've told you before about being precise. What are you talking about?
I'm not sure, but come forward and see for yourself, and maybe we can find out.
Sire, we are approaching a black mist.
Do we go into this?
Not by my advice, sire.
I don't think we have much choice.
And why not, sire? You're as great as an adventurer as I ever heard of.
Your sense of adventure will get us into terrible trouble, Reeve.
It's getting very, very dark.
Fear not, Queen Lucy. I'm here to watch over you.
Then on we go.
Battle stations. Everyone!
What is that? Who calls to us? If you are foe, we do not fear you. If you are a friend, your enemies shall suffer for the pain they have caused you.
Mercy! Mercy! I am Lord Roop of Narnia.
Lord Roop! The fourth of my missing lords.
I was washed aboard and lost at sea an age ago. Even if you're only one more dream, take me on board. Take me on board and strike me dead if you will. But in the name of Aslan, do not leave me in this terrible place.
Where are you? Where are you? Come aboard and welcome.
I see him. Caspian Eustace, help me.
Stand by to bring him aboard. Ranelf.
Aye.
We need a warm berth, blankets, and hot drink for our guests.
Aye, Captain.
Fly! Fly! Turn your ships away from here. Turn away from this accursed shore.
Calm yourself, man. Tell us what the danger is. We are not used to running away.
Well, if you best learn how. This is the island where dreams come true.
An island where dreams come true? I've been searching for a place like that. I reckon I'd be married to my sweetheart if I were there.
And I would find my brother alive again.
And I'd be with Aslan again.
And I'd be in the forest lands of Narnia hunting with Caspian.
And I'd be safe home again together with Ma and Pa.
And I'd have found my missing lords. And met my own true queen.
And I'd find the utter east.
Fools! That's exactly what I thought. But this is the island where dreams, not daydreams, but dreams of the blackest night come true.
You mean nightmares? A land where nightmares come true?
Starboard the helm, Captain! Sail for all our lives!
This is a rut.
Dreams of the night that are real reap? There are some things no man can face.
Then it is my good fortune not to be a man.
What? It sounds like there's a huge pair of scissors opening and shutting over there.
Hush. I can hear things crawling all over the ship.
I can hear it too, sire. A giant slug sliding down the mast.
Gongs. I knew there'd be gongs, huge ringing gongs!
I'm falling and falling into the black well.
We'll never get out! The captain's just steering us in circles. We're just going round and round and around! Ah!
It's the wave. I can see it. The great wave at the edge of the world. And it's pulling us in. Turn away! Turn away!
Don't turn away. Sail east, not west, Captain Drinian, or we'll never get out.
We'll never get out! What a fool I am! No, we'll never get out! We'll sail over the edge of the world!
Aslan! Aslan, please help us!
I can see light ahead! Drinian, follow the light! Surely Aslan has sent us a guide to lead us out of darkness!
Lead on, dear light. Lead us ever eastward.
Guide us out of darkness to the last three noble lords! Are they real? Are they dead?
I think not, sir. All three are snoring, fast asleep.
It must have been a long sleep to let their hair go like this.
An enchanted sleep. I knew the moment we landed on this island it was full of magic.
But can we break the enchantment?
We can try.
Did he speak? What did he say?
He said, I'll sail eastward no more. Up sail for Narnia. He's even more asleep now.
This one said, on to the east, the utter east, to the land behind the sun.
And this one. Did I hear that right?
I think so. He said, can you pass the mustard, please?
Do you think the food could be drugged?
Up sail for Narnia, eh? They must be Narnians.
Check their rings and their devices, Trinian. I think we found the rest of my missing lords.
Yes. Aslan be praised. They are safe and alive.
And asleep. Our quest is at its end.
Thanks be to Aslan.
Thanks be to Aslan.
Most beautiful lady, we feared the food had been drugged and had cast our friends into enchanted sleep.
They have never tasted it.
Please, what happened to them?
7 years ago, they came here on a ship whose sail was rags and whose timbers were full of leaks. And when they reached this table, they quarreled, and one lay his hand upon the knife of stone and would have fought his friend with it. But it is not a right thing for him to touch, and so a deep sleep fell upon all three of them.
What is this knife of stone?
I've seen it before. I think. Yes! The White Witch used a knife just like this when she killed Aslan.
It is the same. It was brought here to be kept in honor as long as the world shall last.
I'm not a coward, I think, and I don't mean to be rude, but a lot of strange things have happened to us on this voyage. Things aren't always what they seem. But how do we know you're a friend? How do we know you're not a witch?
You cannot know. You can only believe.
Sire, of your courtesy, fill me a cup of wine from that flagon. It is too big for me to lift. I should drink a toast to this most beauteous lady. Lady, I pledge you.
Why is it called Aslan's table?
It was set here by his bidding for those who travel so far. For some call this island the world's end. For though you can sail further, this is the beginning of the end.
How does the food keep fresh?
It is eaten and renewed every day.
And how, fairest of ladies, do we wake the sleepers to take them home? Queen Lucy told me of a story once where a king or a prince, I think, dissolved a magic enchantment by kissing a sleeping princess.
Here, the prince cannot kiss the princess until after he has dissolved the magic.
Then in the name of Aslan, sweet maiden, show me how to dissolve the magic.
My father, Ramandu, will teach you that.
Your father? Who is he?
Look.
This thy glorious day, our hearts are filled with grateful praise. We honor you alone, for all things come from you. May we ever seek to glorify your name.
Look, the table's been cleared.
So that's how it's done. At dawn, the birds clear it all away.
And at dusk, they'll lay the table again.
With the freshest and choicest of foods from all over the world.
Sir, will you tell us how to break the enchantment that keeps the three lords asleep?
Certainly, my son. To break the enchantment, you must sail east to the world's end, and then come back to this island, having left at least one of your number behind.
And what is to happen to the one that is left behind, honored sir?
He must sail on to the utter east, and never return to this world again.
That, of course, is my heart's only desire.
And are we near the world's end now, sir?
I have no sailor's knowledge and cannot help you with this. I have heard of a white sea that lies at the world's end. But who knows, since no one has ever been there and come back. But I must know, what is your resolve? Will you sail east into the unknown and leave at least one of your number behind? Or do you prefer to turn westward and sail home?
Well, my friends,
there can be no question, sire. It is plainly a part of our quest to rescue these three lords from enchantment.
They wouldn't be much use fast asleep forever back at home.
it is part of our quest. But what should we say to Drinian and Ranelf? They volunteered to find 7 lords, not to sail to the edge of the world, to the utter east.
It would be no use your sailing to the world's end with men who are unwilling or deceived.
Drinian, I ordered you back to the ship.
Forgive me, sire. The Lord Roop requested to see his old shipmates.
Prince Caspian, I ordered the captain to bring me here.
Sir, this Narnian lord has suffered greatly. He's been on the Island of Dreams for 7 years.
Then this man needs sleep without measure. I can give him what his friends already enjoy. Sleep without any form of dream or interruption until you return.
I accept gladly.
Drinian, Ranelf, we have a choice to make. We have found the last of the 7 lords. Our quest is over. But these lords will sleep forever unless we travel on to the edge of the world. Will you continue the journey with us?
But all the winds since we have left have been westerly. How will we sail home again? How will we see Narnia again?
That's landsman's talk.
Well, why don't we just stay here for the winter and voyage on in the spring?
Well, what would you do for supplies?
This table will be filled with a king's feast every day at sunset.
Now you're talking. I vote we stay here.
Now, hold hard, lad. There's something I'd like to say. Not one of us was pressed to make this journey. We're all volunteers, apart from our three friends there. And there is one here who would like to stay and enjoy a king's feast every day, when there is one here who boasted very loudly about adventure and glory on the day we sailed from Narnia. And if I remember correctly, there is one here who swore that he would not come home until he saw the very end of the world. And if I remember correctly, on the day we sailed from Narnia, we had to fight people off who wanted to join us, because it was reckoned nobler to be a sailor aboard the Dawn Treader than to win a knight's spurs. What I am trying to say to you, Ranulf, is that if we were to come home and say we got to the beginning of the world's end, but hadn't the heart to go further, we would look as silly as those there duffel-puds.
For once, Captain, you are absolutely right. I vote we go on.
And so, my friends and companions of the great ship, the Dawn Treader, let us make our farewell to Ramandu and his most beautiful daughter. Lady, I hope to speak with you again, and with your father, when I have broken the enchantment. And so, let us sail on to the east, to the very end of the world.
Farewell, Caspian. Hurry back and speak with me again.
I promise, on my oath as king, so to do.
Go with all good speed, brave travelers. May Aslan be with you. Then, sooner than you think, you will find your journey's end. Come, daughter.
What's that waving in the water? Looks like a tree waving in the wind.
Like a submarine forest.
And those pale streaks look like roads in the middle of a forest. What are those spiky bits?
They look like towers and spires.
Like a small town or a castle. I think I see little people.
Yes, there. And they're riding on horses.
Seahorses. They're carrying spears.
They're hunting. Probably hunting for fish. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
He's delirious. He's seen mermaids and mermen.
Where the
and sometimes gets them like that.
Where the waves grow sweet, there is the utter east. Sweet, sweet.
Reepicheep, it is sweet. It's wonderful. I'm not sure that it isn't going to kill me, but if so, it's the death I would have chosen for myself. It's like drinking light.
Yes, that's just what it's like. Yeah, drinkable light. We must be very near the end of the world now. It's the loveliest thing I've ever tasted. It's so strong and filling. We don't even eat anything now.
It's strange. There's not a breath of wind, and the sail hangs dead. And yet we are going at speeds as if there is a gale behind us.
We must be in a very strong current.
It could be the wave at the edge of the world.
You mean we might get poured over it, like a waterfall?
Yes, that's just how I imagined it. The world is a great round table, and the waters of the oceans pouring over the edge of it.
Whiteness! Whiteness ahead!
Ranulf, I've told you before, will you give proper calls?
It's whiteness, Captain! As far as my eye can see! With a telescope.
We'd better try and anchor, Captain. It might be dangerous.
Aye, sire. Ranulf, make ready to drop anchor.
Aye. What? Lilies! It's a sea of lilies!
Sire, Ranulf reports a sea of lilies.
Ramandu spoke of a great white sea that lay at the world's end. We must be at the end of the world.
Water's shallow very quickly, Captain.
We better anchor, Captain. Well, my friends, our quest is now fulfilled. The 7 lords that my wicked uncle Miraz sent away, never to be found again, are all accounted for. Thankfully, some of them are still alive. And we, my friends, have reached the edge of the world and can go no further. Sir Reepicheep has sworn never to return, all of which means that the 3 sleeping lords are now free from enchantment. To you, my beloved captain, Lord Drinian, I entrust the Dawn Treader. I command that you sail back to Narnia with all the speed that you may. And if I come not again, it is my wish that you should...
Come not again, sire.
I knew he was up to something.
I've decided I'm going on together with Reepicheep.
What? Caspian, you can't do this.
Most certainly, His Majesty cannot.
No, indeed, it's desertion.
Cannot? Desertion? How dare you question me?
Begging your Majesty's pardon, but if any of us were to do it, you yourself would call it desertion.
He is perfectly right.
Thank you.
By the mane of Aslan! I thought you were all my subjects here. I will be obeyed.
I'm not your subject, and I say you can't do this.
I can. I can do anything. I'm the king.
Indeed, you are the king of all of Narnia. If you do not return, you break faith with all your people. You cannot go on adventures as if you were a private person. And if you will not listen, then every one of us on board will join me in disarming you and binding you till you come to your senses.
Quite right. Like they did with Ulysses.
And you're all against me? Even you, Lucy?
But what about your royal promise to Ramandu's daughter?
My own true queen. Well, yes, there is that. But I've changed my royal mind. That is my right as king, is it not? I've decided to go on. I will not be overruled.
Caspian, what you propose is thoroughly dishonorable, completely, utterly shameful. You cannot be serious. If you go on with Reap, you break faith with Ramandu's daughter and the gentleman Ramandu himself. You break faith with the lords who have died and the 4 noble lords left on Ramandu's island. You break faith with us, your companions, and with the people, your people. You break faith with Aslan himself. Who are you then, faithless? You know better than your uncle Miraz.
You presume too much, King Edmund. How dare you? I'm determined. I'm going below to make ready.
Lucy, Eustace, say your farewells. Reap, stay with us as long as you feel right.
Oh, Aslan, help us now more than ever. Please, help Caspian come to his senses.
Say goodbye.
It's no good. For all my bad temper and showing off, it's no good. Aslan has spoken to me. He said, he said, and he was quite a bit stern with me. He told me that all 3 of you are to go on together with Reap, and I'm to go back with Drinian and Ranelf, and at once. And what's the good of anything?
Caspian, dear, you knew we'd have to go back eventually.
But not when. And now's too soon.
You'll feel better when you get to Mandu's Island.
Cast off, Captain. Go quickly, my friends. My heart is breaking with sadness.
Look at the rainbow!
There it is. The great wave that is the edge of the world, and beyond it, beyond even the sun.
Yes?
Mountains hanging up high into the sky, warm and green and filled with forests and waterfalls. Just listen to that sound.
Enough to break your heart with happiness.
What?
Nothing.
What compass bearing?
East. Due east.
Oh no, not just yet.
This is where I go on alone. I shall need this no more. Goodbye, my friends. I will try to be sad for your sakes, but it has been such a wonderful adventure, and I have only a short way to go to fulfill my true destiny. Even though I am leaving you, believe me, I am truly happy. I know we will meet again someday. So until then, brave companions, farewell. Farewell, Queen Lucy.
That is truly the bravest one of all of us.
Before we see the final scene, I just want to take 3 short minutes and give you a bit of a reflection about what C.S. Lewis's purpose was in writing The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. C.S. Lewis, he was one of the greatest authors in the 20th century, and you could see his imagination was on display when he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia. And tonight, we've got to see a bit of that journey. And one of the things I noticed tonight as I was watching, that there's no real bad guy in this story. Sure, Gumpus is a bit of a scoundrel, but there's no big overarching villain in this story. Each character is just on a journey to figure out who they are within themselves, and the story is more of an inward look than a fight against a bad guy. You think of Lucy, for example. She's searching for self-confidence. She's looking at, when she was doing those spells, she wanted to become beautiful. She wasn't sure of who she was in and of herself. But as the story goes, you constantly see she's the one that's first to cry out to Aslan for help. Edmund is another character that was on a journey. You know, in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, you remember he was the one that gave in to the White Witch and took the Turkish delight. But in this story, you can see he's really growing in character. And in the end, when he's really standing up to Caspian, who is figuring out what it means to be a true and noble king. Caspian himself was on a journey, figuring out what it means to be that king that serves his people rather than serves himself. He needed that encounter with Aslan before he realized what it meant to be a king who serves his people and not just serves himself. Reepicheep was also on a journey. Reepicheep's perhaps the most noble of all the characters in the story, but Reepicheep's the one that's always looking east, where Aslan is. One of the main characters, though, we see the most transformation in is Eustace. You know, at the beginning of the story, you can remember, Eustace was quite an annoying character. You know, even his cousins didn't want to hang out with him. And even when he first came on the Dawn Treader, the other characters, too, got into quick conflict with him. And where did that get him? Well, it got him turned into a dragon. What happened was who he was on the inside started to show on the outside. The dragon on the inside was demonstrated by the dragon on the outside. When he became a dragon, he had a chance for some self-reflection. He couldn't speak to his friends. He had to think about who he had truly become. Once he realized who he'd become, he tried to take the scales off himself. But what happened? Was he able to do that? Was he able to, in and of himself, take the scales off and become a boy again? No, he needed an encounter with Aslan as well. You see, the voyage of the Dawn Treader is an allegory. An allegory is just a story that reveals a hidden picture. And in this story, the allegory is Aslan as the one who is the true one that can change each and every character in this story, just like Jesus is the one who can change us. In your program, in the second last page, there's a quote that you're going to see in the final scene in just a few seconds. This is a quote from Aslan as he's speaking to these three that are remaining here. And he says this, "In your world I have another name. You must learn to know me by that name. This was the very reason you were brought to Narnia, that knowing me here for a little, you may know me better there." You know, the reason that we as a church put on the Chronicles of Narnia plays is that we have had an encounter with Jesus. And we would like each one of you to have one as well. Jesus has changed our lives, just like Aslan changed the lives of the characters in this play. And so I hope you'd consider that as you're watching this last scene, which we'll look together, how you can have an encounter with Jesus, just like these characters have one with Aslan. Let's watch the last scene together now.
Come, Lucy. Come, Eustace. Don't be sad.
What's that red glow over there? Not another dragon cave, I hope.
I don't know. What do you think, Lucy? Oh, Lucy, don't cry.
Not crying. I'm just wishing and hoping that Reepicheep finds Aslan and that he has no more fights to fight.
He has already found me, and he has found perfect peace.
Aslan, dear Aslan, is this the way to your country?
For Reepicheep, but not for you. For you, the way into my country lies in your own world.
There's a way from our world?
Children, there's a way into my country from all the worlds.
Aslan, will you tell us the way?
I shall be telling you all the time, but I cannot tell you how long or how short that way will be. Only that you must cross a great river. But children, do not fear that crossing, for I am the bridge builder. Come now, I shall open a door unto the sky, and I will send you home to your own land.
But wait, before we go, when will we come back to Narnia again?
My child, you and your brother shall never return to Narnia.
Oh, Aslan!
You're too old now, children. And you must become close to your own world now.
It's not just Narnia, you know. It's you. We shan't meet you in our own world. And how can we live on without not meeting you there?
You will meet me there, dear one.
Are you there too, sir?
I am there. But there I will have another name. You must get to know me by that name. This is the very reason you were brought to Narnia. By knowing me a little here, you shall know me better there. But
is Eustace never to come back either?
My child, Must you really know that? Come now. I am opening a door into the sky.